Hey everyone, welcome to another 3-minute review. This is the first time I'm doing this on a board game. I figured it's about time that I started reviewing some of the board games that I have since my collection of them just reached 50 the other day. So I'm gonna kind of break down in this first episode that I'm doing on a board game, kind of what my background in board games is and what these reviews are going to kind of be based on. So first of all, this one is going to be a little longer than 3 minutes, not the review itself, but just because of this opening segment. I'm not going to explain this every single video, but basically when I play board games, I pretty much only play with 2 to 4 people. I usually play by myself actually, but I usually play with either my younger brother, one of my roommates, or occasionally my entire family back at home. But that is kind of where I come from player count wise. I haven't really played enough to really establish specific mechanics and themes that I really like. There are a couple that stand out to me, but not really enough for me to really consider it to be my favorite type of game. But yeah, most of these reviews are going to be I've played all the games that I'm reviewing at least once, obviously. Most of them are just going to be kind of after the first playthrough or two. So it's not like I heavily have played and researched these games. It's pretty much to make these comparable to the movie and video game reviews. It's going to be basically like just my initial reaction to the game. But today, I'll hold it up because I do have this one on me. It's backwards because of iPhone cameras, but I'm going to be reviewing Tiny Epic Defenders. Tiny Epic Defenders is interesting because it's from a whole game series that is very unique in that it kind of tries to make miniature tiny and epic, I suppose you could say, versions of like other themes. Like they're all very different from each other. Like Tiny Epic Defenders is different from Tiny Epic Dinosaurs, which is different from Tiny Epic Galaxies and all of the other themes. And this is the only one that I have right now that I have played. I had a choice when I went to the game store between Dinosaurs, Defenders, and Galaxies, and I realized afterwards I picked the lowest rated one that was available to me, but it's whatever. I think it presents some really cool ideas. I really like the ability to equip your meeples with items. I think that's really clever. But I will say one thing for this game is like, why would I bring this one out? Like, it's kind of a novelty to have like a small game that you can easily travel with. But other than that, this is a co-op game. Why would I bring this out over like a game like Robinson Crusoe or Pandemic? Like, why would I bring this one out above those? And I will say the gameplay itself feels it's pretty straightforward, and it's like just a little too much like just flip card, resolve. Like that's kind of what it devolved into about like halfway through the game, because basically you have all these bad guys that are attacking different areas. It's kind of like tower defense, which is cool thematically, but it's like you flip the card with the enemies on it, you look at what places they're attacking, you raise the threat in those areas, and you just flip the next card, and it just is it doesn't feel that satisfying when you're playing it. Like, it doesn't really feel like you're in this epic battle. It just feels like I'm flipping cards most of the time. I ended up losing the first time that I played it, and I haven't played it since then, because again, why would I bring it out above other games that I have? But I do want to play it again eventually. I do like the varied setup. It's kind of cool that how the area is laid out is different every time you play the game, and the boss that you fight at the end is different every time. I think there's like 4 or 5 different ones. I went up against the tree and I lost that one, but oh well. I'd say this is honestly probably, as of right now, I'm looking down because all my games are down here. I'm like just looking at them and I'm like, I don't think there's a game that I'll rank lower than, no, there is one. No, I think this might be the game that I rank the lowest, We'll see though. But my score on this one is about a 6.5, 6 out of 10, which isn't bad by any means. It's like, it's fun, but it just doesn't do anything special for me. Like, it's like, well, like I said, why would I play this game when I have other, like, better, more in-depth co-op games? The only thing is the novelty of being able to bring it places. And I forgot I didn't calculate the time properly, but I'm over 3 minutes now on the review part. So that's all I have to say about Tiny Epic Defenders. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you next time with a different game. Peace out.